Good evening people, and welcome back to another video, and thank you very much for joining me again. My sub count has been going up gradually, which is really cool to see. I never really imagined that I'd be getting sort of hundreds of subscribers, so you never know. I'm going to keep pressing on with my videos, because I actually really do enjoy making the content, and I quite like editing the videos. If you go back and watch some of my earlier videos, you'll see that I used to try doing all the music and the fade-ins and fade-outs and stuff, and to be honest, it took a lot of hard work and a lot of hours to do that. So I think the videos were a lot harder to produce, and the motivation to produce them was a lot harder. But like doing the videos I do now, especially like the motorbike vlogging, I think it's quite cool, because you know, I record a video and they're relatively quite straightforward to edit. They do still take a couple of hours, but it means that I don't get bored producing them. I like talking about things that I'm actually noticing or experiencing, stuff like that, and I like to share it. But I also do like actually editing the videos as well, so it's a bit of a double win for me. And the weather obviously is a lot better today, so this is the first time I've been out on the bike for a while. The rain has really put a dampener on things over the last couple of weeks. We've had some awful weather, and I think for the last week and a half I've been driving my car to work, which has been, as much as I like that car, you know, it is a nice car, which is the SQ5 if you don't know. It is a really nice car, but to be honest, I just hate driving to work purely because of the traffic. It's just a nightmare. I mean, I leave relatively early. I leave my house at 6:30 in the morning, and I remember sort of years ago where you could leave at 6:30 and you know, you could pretty much drive at speed limit. But now it's just totally different. You leave at 6:30 and the roads are so busy. There's so many lorries on the road, and it's just it's a real pain. I just hate it. I hate commuting in my car. But on a bike it just feels a lot different, and to be honest, that's what this video is about today. I want to talk about commuting. Okay, so without creating a list and numbering it, because I don't actually know how many points I'm going to be talking about, I'm just going to kind of go with it and see what rolls off my tongue. Okay, so the first thing I can think about is the darkness. Now, I'm not saying that I'm scared of the dark and I don't like commuting in the dark, but everything changes when it's dark, and especially in the cold winter mornings. So when there's like dew or frost on the road, and your visor will get all steamed up, and you get the droplets on your visor which you have to try and keep wiping off, or it is raining and it's dark. It is a very vicious combination. You can't actually see where you're going, and it is very difficult. Now, there's obviously no windscreen wipers on your visor, so you have to keep wiping it. Now, I use my glove because I've tried my jacket and it's quite difficult to get your arm round enough to do the swipe, but I use my glove. So all I do is just a quick sort of smear across, and it's done. Now, when it's raining, you have to be doing that quite frequently. And also, something else I've noticed is when it's cold, when it's really cold, your visor just mists up, but it mists up on the outside rather than on the inside. Now, I've got the pin lock protector thingamajig, and that obviously is an anti-mist device which works really well. You can huff and puff on it and it doesn't mist up. It is really good. I do strongly recommend the pin lock. If you haven't got one already, well, mud on the road and it's probably wet, but be careful. Yeah, if you haven't got one already, I really strongly advise you to invest in one. They are really good bits of kit. Now, you can get reflections on your visor as well, so especially with car lights and stuff, you have to sort of try and look past the reflections, because you get all these dots in your visor and stuff. They reflect off the mist or whatever, and it is quite difficult to sort of be able to look ahead. And that's something I noticed this morning. It was quite difficult to see. So it was raining. It was that sort of fine misty rain this morning, so just be very aware of that. It's not the nicest of conditions to be riding to work in. So the second thing, which is going to probably be the most obvious, is the cold. It is bloody cold. Now, obviously I cycle, well, I was not so much anymore, but I was cycling loads. I was probably doing about 200 miles a week on my push bike, that is, and I'm used to being cold on bikes because I used to ride all year round. You have to make sure you've got the right gear for your motorbike, because that is something you're going to suffer with. Make sure you've got decent boots, decent gloves, decent jackets, decent leggings. I wear over trousers, and these ones here I think are supposed to be waterproof. I don't know how waterproof they are, but they do, in heavy rain, they do seep through, but generally they do brush off the rain. It's, you know, they are quite decent trousers. They are quite thick, and they do have a thermal lining, which I don't actually have in at the moment, but they do come with a thermal lining, as does my jacket as well. but the thermal lining will have to go in when you roll into the cold weather. I'm talking sort of like 5 degrees and under, if you're going to carry on riding in them sort of conditions. So around 10 degrees I wear what I wear to commute in, and you know, it's quite comfortable. Anything under 10 gets a little bit nippy, and anything under 5 is bloody cold. Oh my god, I've got to work a couple of times and just thought, Jesus Christ, you actually feel cold inside. And I mean inside your body, not just inside your jacket. I mean inside your body, like your internals are cold. Boots and gloves are very important. Try and find heated gloves. Yeah, you can see this little switch here, so you press that, it's got 3 modes on it, and it does warm like the grip and over the fingers here and the hand and the palm and stuff, and it is actually quite good. It does work, but I feel if you don't have it on full power, then you can't really feel it, you can't really notice it. Now the third thing I'm going to talk about is also connected to the gear, but I always go for high vis stuff. So like you see on my jacket here, it's yellow. I don't think I've got any photos of me wearing this like jacket with my helmet, but my helmet's black and yellow as well. So I do go for a very Bumblebee theme. Now obviously I try and do everything I can to be seen. It's mainly in the mornings. Like I'm not wearing my high vis jacket over my jacket now. I've just got this black and yellow Alpine Stars jacket, and you know, I just try and do everything to get noticed, because yellow is a very distinctive colour. It does stand out, and something I just don't understand, and I see it in the morning. Even like this morning, I passed a motorcyclist, and okay, he has a white helmet, which are generally good, but he wears dark clothing, and he actually rides a dark bike as well, which just makes him impossible to see. And you know, to me, it's just not worth it. I'd rather go out and looking uncool, you know, because I don't think wearing high vis and all that lot is very cool. You know, you do get a lot of sports bikes riders that won't even nod to me, and every time they come past me I'm like, I've got a Ducati. Maybe they're just arrogant. I yellow up, and I do, in the mornings I do use one of them high vis tabards with the reflective strips on it. It's just something I can do to add to my visibility. So okay, so the next point is how fast people drive. Now I know this sounds a little bit obvious, but in the dark people drive slower, and that does sound really, really obvious, but in the winter it's really slow. So you can pretty much take off 10 or even 20 mile an hour off the speed you usually drive to work in. In the summer and in the nice weather and stuff like that, you're going to be doing sort of 30 to 40 mile an hour in the winter. And just because you're on a motorbike, you might think, oh, it's fine, you know, I can skip the traffic, you know, traffic doesn't affect me. It does, because I'm one of these motorcyclists that I won't overtake if there's cars coming the other way, like a lot of other bikes I've seen. I'm one of these riders that will sit behind cars until I absolutely know I can go. Like this morning, there was so much traffic coming the other way, and I have loads and loads of overtaking opportunities on a motorbike, but this morning I just couldn't make progress. Okay, so the next thing that sort of kind of goes alongside the darkness one that I said earlier, and that is cars don't see you. I started trying to watch videos when I was doing my CBT about how to stay safe on bikes, and one thing that a female YouTuber said about, and I can't remember who she was now, but she said about wiggling the headlight. So it's that sort of motion. Hang on, I'll do it once I get around this bend. Hang on, bear with me a second. There's mud on the road. Don't slip. So okay, so what I mean by that is just that sort of motion like that. Now what that does is that sort of like almost draws the attention of the car driver or the person that's waiting to pull out from somewhere. You've got to be really mindful that people just don't see you at all. So really that's my main points about commuting, and I can't really think of any other disadvantages, because you know, that is the main topics. It's going to be bloody cold, people aren't going to see you. What was my other points? People drive slower, so your journey is not going to be as fast as what you'd want it to be just because you're on a motorbike. And the main thing is it's going to be bloody cold. I know I've just said that, but that is the main points, I think. And maybe I'll think of some others and might have to extend this video in another video, maybe, I don't know. But maybe if you can think of something that you'd like to include on something I might have missed. But yeah, so that's my video for today, and there's plenty more videos to come as always. Please like and subscribe if you're new to the channel, and until next time guys, I'll see you again soon. Cheers.